planning on doing this, but fuck it, I'm doing this. We got the... What? Okay, yeah, so... Got the premiere of... YouTube! Why? YouTube, why? Fucking hell. So this is Rollfan 104th moveset idea for Smash. This researcher, whoever that is, let's find out. And... Okay, it's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. Of course it's Pokemon. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. The Nightmare. I haven't actually played any Pokemon games. But I know that Cynthia is the Nightmare, the destroyer of dreams.
Cynthia, champion of Sinnoh and one of the most powerful Pokemon trainers in the world. She works hard to keep everyone safe, always quick to jump in if she sees trouble. And with her power, she's always able to make short work of it. But not only is she strong, she's smart too. On the side, she works as a traveling historian and mythologist, studying hard to discover the secrets and mysteries of the world. She's kind, passionate, and determined. And now, she's here today to show everyone why she earned the title of Sinnoh Champion. And what better way to do that than by proving your skills on the battlefield of Super Smash Bros. So without further ado, let's get right into things, starting of course with Cynthia's team of 3. The Pokemon she'll have for this moveset were ones that I've chosen for her, based on what she's most commonly used and what makes sense for her thematically. Starting with her usual lead, the forbidden Pokemon, Spiritomb.
24.
Then the same Pokemon whose egg she gifts you, the Jubilee Pokemon, Togekiss.
17. Oh lord, that's...
And finally, a Pokemon that she cannot go without, the Aura Pokemon, Lucario!
Oh. I knew it! I knew it!
Of course, it has to be the Mach Pokemon, Garchomp! It's her signature partner after all. She always brings it to every battle that she enters.
Yeah,
Plus, considering how consistently popular this guy is, it's not surprising that it would be one of the most requested Pokemon up to date. Comparing the statistics of Cynthia's team side by side, Spiritomb will be the most sluggish in terms of mobility, due in part to it lugging around that over 230-pound keystone. But this does also mean that it'll be the heaviest on the team. It also has the best disjoint, using its fog-like spiritual body to give it both incredible and very malleable reach. Togekiss is the lightest, the fastest, and the floatiest of the three, moving around like a carefree fairy in the wind. It also has the best recovery on the team, but it is also the weakest, relying more on combos and poke pressure to get the job done. And then there's Garchomp, who is by far the heaviest hitter, able to dish out the most amount of damage in the shortest amount of time. Its deceptive speed and rushdown potential also definitely help with that. It is also still fairly heavy, so its survivability is nothing to scoff at either. I'd say that Garchomp's biggest weakness is its frame data, having the most amount of start and end lag on its attacks compared to the rest of the team. In short, each Pokemon have clear strengths and weaknesses to balance each other out, as expected of the Sinnoh champion to give herself a well-rounded team. Plus, they each represent the many sides of Cynthia's personality. She's strong-willed and will never give up when she sets her sight on something. She's kind, passionate, and always prioritizes the happiness of others. And she can be terrifying. As for movement, Spiritomb and Garchomp both have 2 jumps, whereas Togekiss gets 5 thanks to its wings. Yes, I'm well aware that Garchomp can fly somehow, but I'm still only giving it 2. But Garchomp will be the only one to get additional movement options, being able to wall jump.
I didn't get that last part, but yeah.
The majority of Garchomp's attacks do come directly from other games, so get ready for that one now. Togekiss and Spiritomb, who don't make as many appearances, will be predominantly innovated. Starting with their jabs, Garchomp can have a 3-hit jab that starts with a horizontal claw swipe to the right, then a horizontal claw swipe with the other arm to the left, then ends with a spinning horizontal tail swipe. Togekiss can have a spammable 1-hit jab, simply doing a headbutt forward, and Spiritomb can solely have a rapid jab, spinning its ethereal body forward to rack up a lot of damage as foes get knocked around by the spirits inside of Spiritomb's body. For the dash attacks, Garchomp can do an overhead claw attack from high to low. If this attack connects, it actually knocks foes into the ground, bouncing them into the air. This nasty move can potentially be used to spike airborne opponents as well. Togekiss can do a halting backflip, one that comes out quick out of its dash and launches foes into the air if it connects at the start of the attack. The rest of the flip is also an attack, but it behaves like a sour spot. It's only the start of the flip that deals the real damage. Spiritomb, though, will also do a flip, a front flip specifically this time around, swinging its keystone overhead to slam it hard into the ground in front of itself. This dash attack has a lot of startup, but if it connects, it hurts, launching foes into lower angles. For their side tilts, Garchomp can use a form of Mud Slap, kicking up a large amount of dirt forward. It doesn't launch foes very far, but it does cause quite a bit of hit stun. Togekiss can use a form of Pound, slapping one of its wings forward horizontally, stopping at the peak of the swing. This move has a good amount of knockback on it, making it a great get-off-me attack. And Spiritomb can morph its body into a toothy beast-like state, letting it do a quick bite attack forward. For the up tilts, Garchomp can do a rising kick attack, swinging its foot vertically upward, a move better for hitting foes in front of itself to launch them into the air. Togekiss can start spinning its body vertically, dealing multiple hits of damage to all foes who touch its body, then launch them upward. And Spiritomb can simply swing its head in an arc from front to back, covering a wide area. For their down tilts, Garchomp can do a variation of Breaking Swipe, spinning to swing its tail across the ground to pop foes away. Togekiss can do a quick spinning Wing Sweep, a weaker move, but it pops foes upward, making it decent for combos. And Spiritomb, who by the way retreats into its keystone whenever it crouches, darts forwards from the keystone low to the ground, reaching ahead a decent distance to launch foes into lower angles. For the side smash attacks, Garchomp can do Dragon Claw, doing a 2-hit strike that starts with a diagonal rising claw swipe that deals a lot of hit stun, setting foes up to be destroyed by the follow-up strike, which will launch them away. Out of all the smash attacks among the 3 Pokemon, Dragon Claw is by far the strongest. Togekiss can use Sky Attack, causing its body to glow as it charges, then when released, flies forward a fair distance with a mighty tackle attack. The nasty thing about this move is that it will not stop at ledges, allowing Togekiss to attack into the area over the blast zone, making it a scary edge guarding tool. Speaking of scary, Spiritomb will start to show its malicious nature. As it charges, it hides inside of its keystone, then on release, pops its enlarging head out to jump scare foes, launching them away. For their up smashes, Garchomp can do a low to high vertical headbutt, using its head like a catapult to scoop up foes in front of it and launch them into the air. Togekiss will do a powerful wing flap to conjure a fairy gust attack right in front of itself, launching all foes caught in the gust straight into the air. And Spiritomb will once again hide inside of its keystone as it charges, then when released this time, scares foes out of their boots as it jump scares straight upward with its enlarging head. And for their down smashes, Garchomp could use Earthquake, doing a quick leap up, then immediately slamming down into the ground, breaking the ground around itself and launching all foes touching the ground up into the air. Togekiss will do powerful flaps with each wing on both sides of itself, kicking up fairy gusts that shoot outwards to blow foes away. And Spiritomb can use a form of Ominous Wind, conjuring up ghostly winds that spin all around itself. Foes caught in the wind are swung around, taking constant damage, then are launched away once the wind dissipates. Moving along to the aerial attacks, for Garchomp's neutral air, it can do 2 quick curled up spins as it sticks its dorsal fin out, launching any foe hit by its fin on contact. Togekiss will do a quick front flip, turning its whole body into a hitbox that launches foes on impact, and Spiritomb will spin its body as it faces the screen, dealing multi-hitting damage to foes who touch its body, then launches them away at the end of the attack. For their forward aerials, Garchomp can do a simple claw jab forward, a quick move with decent power. Togekiss will start spinning its body while horizontal, dealing multiple hits of damage to anyone who touches its body, then launches them forward. And Spiritomb can use Nightshade, firing dark beams from its eyes that are shot into opposite diagonal directions, then immediately moves both beams vertically past one another, crossing as they do so. There's a sweet spot on this attack at the moment the beams pass by each other, making them deal more damage and launch foes into straighter angles. For the back aerials, Garchomp can thrust its dorsal fin straight backward, launching foes on contact. Togekiss will do a quick horizontal flip to kick its feet backward, and Spiritomb can spin its keystone while swinging its head behind itself from low to high vertically, morphing into a whip-like state as it does so. For the up aerials, Garchomp can do a backflip to swing its tail overhead from front to back. Togekiss can do an overhead headbutt, swinging its head from front to back to attack with the spines on its head. And Spiritomb can morph its body into a spike-like appearance, stabbing itself straight upward. And for their down aerials, Garchomp can do a falling foot drop, descending with some forward momentum with both feet at the front of the attack. This move will spike if it connects right at the start of the fall. Togekiss could do an aerial cartwheel to swing its wings downward from front to back, one wing at a time. And Spiritomb could stomp its keystone straight down, a slow but very heavy-hitting attack that will spike if it connects properly.
Yeah. Again, excuse me. No, not the Pokemon.
For their grabs, Garchomp would grab with both claws, having an average grab range compared to the other two, and it pummels by biting its prey. Togekiss would grab foes with fairy magic that it emits from its body, but this results in it having the worst grab range of the three. It pummels by headbutting the foe, and Spiritomb would have the greatest grab range, using psychic powers to make for a scary, disjointed grab. It pummels by shocking its prey with ghost powers. For their throws, starting with Garchomp, its forward throw has it punch the foe a few times, then launches them away with a final stronger strike. Its back throw can have it lift the foe overhead, then slam them into the ground behind itself, bouncing them back into the air. The up throw can simply have Garchomp toss the foe high into the air with its head, and the down throw can have it use Sand Tomb on the foe, trapping them in a sand vortex that racks up damage, then spits them into the air. For Togekiss's throws, its forward throw can have it blow the foe away with a powerful wing flap. The back throw has it fly behind the foe to strike and launch them away. The up throw has Togekiss fly high into the sky, knocking the foe up as it ascends, then immediately crashes back down, smashing the foe into the ground and bouncing them back into the air. And its down throw can have it drill its body into the foe, dealing damage before they're knocked away. And for Spiritomb's forward throw, it can shoot its Nightshade Eye Beam, starting from the ground between itself and the foe, but then Spiritomb quickly looks up as it fires the beam, scooping the foe up and launching them forward. The back throw can have it warp behind the foe and attack them from behind with a sucker punch to launch them away. The up throw can have it engulf the foe inside of its body, then chucks them upward. And the down throw can have it terrify the foe with a scary face, dealing damage and knocking them away. For Garchomp's neutral special, it could use Sandstorm. This version of the attack will have Garchomp surround its body in sand, giving itself a veil that causes all foes who get too close to Garchomp to take constant chip damage. And that's pretty much the gist of it. It's a self buff. It lasts for around 8 seconds, after which it goes onto a 15-second cooldown. There is pretty much no reason not to always be using this attack, unless your foes are spacing you pretty hard, because in that case, you wouldn't be able to take full advantage of it, so you gotta be sure you time it properly to get the most out of it. Togekiss's neutral special can be Air Slash. It's a very simple move that has Togekiss fire Blades of Wind straight forward. This move acts as a projectile, and while it only deals small flinching damage, it causes a lot of hit stun, making it a nasty move for playing neutral and even nastier if used to edgeguard. Spiritomb's neutral special could be Spite. This is a special type of counterattack. Spiritomb will put itself into a counter state, and if attacked, reduces the damage it would have taken by half. But that's not all. For making Spiritomb angry, it spites you by locking out the attack that you hit it with for 10 seconds. This could easily be a scary tool for punishing players who are overly reliant on one attack. It cannot stack though. If Spiritomb pulls off Spite again on an opponent who was already spited, it will just override the first Spite in place of the new one. For Garchomp's side special, it could use Dig. Garchomp burrows underground and dashes straight forward with only its dorsal fin sticking out. After reaching its max distance, a ledge, or if a foe touches its fin, Garchomp will immediately leap out of the ground with its dorsal fin forward as it rises. Any foe hit by Garchomp as it launches out of the ground will be launched straight into the air. Speaking of which, if you initiate this attack while in the air, Garchomp will dive forward at an arc, then will dig under as soon as it reaches the stage, after which it plays out just as described before. It has to touch the stage in order to continue when used out of the air, meaning that if you try using this with no stage below you, you're gonna look like a Monado boy out there. If you use Dig into a platform, Garchomp will just ignore said platform and will keep diving down until it finds solid stage. For Togekiss's side special, it could use Sweet Kiss. This has Togekiss dart straight forward to attempt to kiss anyone in its way. If no one was in its way, it just flies the full distance and can start doing any other action aside from Sweet Kiss again if it was used in the air. If there was a foe in its way, Togekiss will stop to give that foe a little smooch, which makes that foe dizzy for a little bit. That's only if it connects on the ground though. If it connects in the air, the foe will just be knocked away. And for Spiritomb's side special, it could use Curse. This has Spiritomb morph its head into a needle shape and stabs forwards while its keystone remains in place. Every time it uses this move, Spiritomb will take a set 5% damage, regardless of whether it lands or not. But any foe who is hit by it will be cursed for around 20 seconds, effectively being poisoned as they take constant damage up until it wears off. This move does have a bit of startup on it, so it is easy to predict and avoid, but failing to do so will result in constant pain. For the up specials, Garchomp's can be Dragon Rush. This will have it wind up, then charge into any chosen direction with immense power, after which it goes into free fall if used in the air. Foes in its way will be dragged along, then launched at the end of the attack, and it deals even more damage to foes if it shoves them straight into the stage. Togekiss's up special can be Fairy Wind, having Togekiss spin upward while surrounding itself in a twister of fairy dust. It's a move that deals very little damage but a lot of knockback to foes, launching them into the air if they touch any part of the twister. And Spiritomb's up special can be Payback. This is probably the most complicated move in this moveset, so listen up. It has Spiritomb teleport into any chosen direction. Then when it reappears its fixed distance away, it does so with a burst of energy that deals damage to all foes hit by it. The damage that it deals, though, is entirely dependent on the amount of damage that Spiritomb takes. Payback deals damage equal to the same amount of damage that Spiritomb sustained from when it spawned or since it last used Payback. When Payback is used, all of that accumulated damage is reset back to 0, and can only deal more damage again once it starts taking more damage, so you can lose that damage quite easily if you find yourself needing to recover often. The accumulated damage can be held when you switch to a different Pokemon, but it cannot accumulate anymore until you switch back. Only Spiritomb can build up the damage for Payback. It can be a scary move if used appropriately. But here's the biggest twist. If you can manage to accumulate 108% of damage, the same number of evil spirits residing within Spiritomb, Payback will automatically KO all foes that it hits. This, of course, would be very difficult to pull off without some serious attention or some dumb luck. Since it requires you to take all of that damage as Spiritomb only, you can't switch, and you also can't use Payback, its only recovery option in case you didn't realize, at all until you reach that number. Plus, if it misses, you're out of luck. You don't get a second chance. You gotta reaccumulate the damage. On top of that, there's no real way to keep track of how much damage you've accumulated unless you use your damage percent as a tracker. And even then, unless you're really good at math on the go, most people would only be able to do so starting at 0%. In any which case, lastly, the down special is of course the Pokemon change, with the rotation being from Spiritomb to Togekiss to Garchomp, then back to Spiritomb. For Cynthia's final smash, she resorts to Garchomp, the Pokemon that instills fear in all trainers who face it. If Garchomp wasn't active, she calls back her current Pokemon to bring it out. And once it's there, she activates Mega Evolution to turn it into Mega Garchomp. Mega Garchomp then dashes forwards with a powerful Claw Slash, and if it can catch a single foe, it begins barraging that foe with an outrage of attacks, racking up tons of damage, then finishing things up with one final powerful strike to launch them away. After which, Garchomp reverts back to normal, and if it wasn't the active Pokemon, it's then replaced with whoever was out when the final smash was initiated.
The other stuff.
For the colors, the default that has the Pokemon in their normal colors can be Cynthia in her black outfit. Her first alt can be blue, based off of Diamond version. Then here's a purple alt, based off of Pearl version.
Okay.
Next can be a green alt.
Based off of nothing?
Then a yellow alt.
Based off of nothing?
Then a brown alt.
Based off of nothing? Nice.
Next is a gray alt, which can reference Cynthia's Signa suit from Pokemon Masters. And finally, here's a red and
then why not just give that to her?
black alt, referencing Platinum version, as well as Cynthia's Renegade Signa suit.
Cute.
The stage intro simply has Cynthia already at the stage, and she summons her starting Pokemon from its Pokeball. For taunts, Garchomp's first can have it lean forward with its claws up as it growls. Togekiss's first can have it happily open its wings as it rocks side to side, an animation from Pokepark. And Spiritomb's first can show it doing a very unsettling chuckle. Garchomp's second can have it stab its claw into the ground and roar forward. Togekiss's second can have it do a small flip, then pose happily in the air. And Spiritomb's second can show it doing a spooky roar forwards as its body aggressively spins. And for their last taunts, Garchomp can show it stomping the ground a few times, then roars. Togekiss's final can have it open up its wings for a hug. And if there's actually a player in front of it, it'll hug that player. And Spiritomb's final taunt can have it hide inside of its keystone as it floats and spins a bit. And finally, for the victory animations, Cynthia's first can show her standing there with her hair flowing in the wind, referencing her Platinum version sprite. Garchomp during this would jump in from the back and roar to the sky. Togekiss would perch itself next to Cynthia and look happily at the camera. And Spiritomb would just be shown doing a maniacal laughter. The second victory animation would reference Cynthia's black and white 2 sprites, showing her with her hand at her chin, but then holds her arm forward to pose. Garchomp during this one would jump out of the ground, then pose. Togekiss would fly in with some spins, then pose in midair. And Spiritomb would do a flip while inside the keystone, then pop out for a mini jump scare. And for their final victory animations, these would be the poses where Cynthia interacts with her Pokemon. With Garchomp, Cynthia would be shown scratching its chin, then they both pose. With Togekiss, Cynthia would watch as it flies around her, then Togekiss would come up to her and give her a hug. And with Spiritomb, we would just see it retracting back into its keystone, and Cynthia would sit down to place her hand on it while giving a gentle smile. That does it for What If Cynthia was in Smash! So, if you enjoyed what you saw and would like to see even more characters be given possible Smash movesets, be sure to subscribe. I also recently just started a new series of moveset videos centered around Pokemon Unite. If you're interested in that, please go check it out. And if you want to support my channel and help me be able to make more content for you guys, you can click the join button either below the video or my main page to become a sponsor for my channel. Doing so will get you access to my Discord server, as well as channel emotes. You can guarantee that your name appears in my videos, or even get the option of knowing what if characters are coming up next a week in advance. I really appreciate anything that can be contributed. And of course, if you have a character that you want to see be given a possible Smash moveset, or a Pokemon that you want to see be given a possible Unite moveset, leave a comment down below, or contact me on Twitter at BrawlFan1 on Twit. I hope you all enjoyed, thank you so much for watching, and now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play Legends Arceus for the next 500 hours. Later!
Isn't that something you wrote on Twitter that that's not out yet? Why are you... I don't know, maybe it dropped like... right now? I don't know. Well, he made this video before him. I don't know. I might be wrong. But by the way, I just want to point out that with the Scout video, it was originally just called What If This Braggart Was in Smash? First was like, who could that be? Then, during the ads, before the video actually started, I just suddenly thought, hold up. No. No. Ad stop. And I just hear something that's going to get me a copyright strike, but burnuck it, I'm gonna do it. I just hear is it? Yeah. I just hear and I fucking lost it. I just fucking lost it, okay? I lost it. Okay, I can stop this now.